What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast, and we are awesome. We are on episode, is it 191? We don't. That's the one.
I think it's 192.
It's 192. That's the one thing about this. This is like an ongoing meme, is that we don't know what number we're on. It's like
you know what I've been thinking, because as we're getting dangerously closer to 200, I've been thinking of doing an actual clip show, like, of the best clips, because we haven't really officially. I mean, we've done a clip show before, but we haven't done one recently, and I feel like we've made a lot more moments and there have had a lot of discussions. So I was thinking of doing a clip show. This could be like, really, if you hadn't really been listening for the first, like, say you hopped on episode 181 or something along those lines. Like, if you didn't know what we was about in the beginning and I was talking on the phone and you were recording me talking on the phone, like, maybe you get a clip show of, like, you know, our best moments leading up to 200. I'm thinking that. You know, we've been brainstorming ideas for 200. So, you know, it's coming soon enough. At least in the next 2 months, we'll have crowds back by the time 200 comes out. I don't know what that means, but, you know, we'll be doing things. We're preparing in various ways. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. It's had a little bit of a heat wave in California, but it's calmed down, man. It's really calmed down. You know, you get that lull just kind of like in life. I feel like I'm there right now, where I'm just like, ugh, I need to do something exciting. I need to go on a vacation or something and switch some shit up.
I think you do need to go on a vacation. I think everyone needs to go on a vacation. I can't take any vacations currently because of work. But when I do, they don't know what's coming for them. This isn't going to be a 1 week vacation. I'll tell them that. This is going to be multiple.
You got to make sure you're setting aside. Did you get your save the date yet?
I did. So I actually was gonna press you last week because I didn't get it last week, and I was like, "Hey, motherfucker!" You know when I got this? Friday.
You know what's so weird? This is complete personal asides here, but you know what's so weird is that everyone's getting it at weird times. So, like, I know people that we sent it to in New York, they got it before you did. But, like, all the New York people got it at the same time. Some people in Virginia didn't get it yet. Like, I don't know what's going on with USPS.
Listen, they don't fuck with different areas. I mean, it kind of, maybe it just depends what kind of post office. My post office is, I don't know if it's just a general scheme for everybody. I don't know how your post office is, but my post office is terrible. So I don't know if that's just a general rule of thumb that most post offices are terrible, understaffed, and underwhelming in general. But I know mine is one of the worst for sure.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, you know, you got a big vacation coming up soon, and you know the date for that now. So
that's too far away. I gotta get another vacation before that. That's too far away.
Oh my god! Well, we have
it's like 11 months away.
No, it is. I mean, it's gonna creep up on you before you know it. You know,
nothing creeps up. I'm cognizant. My anxiety levels are already flaring up. They're just not at a heightened sense as of right now, but they're getting there.
Fine.
Yeah, I don't. The only thing I worry about is worrying. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, sir. You have been holding out on us for weeks on this announcement. You have been holding out. The time is now. Forget everything else. Forget all the grandstanding that we're doing thus far. We need you to announce this thing right now. What are you announcing, sir? Please.
Oh, yeah. We have some new content coming exclusively to the A Show Patreon coming this July. So in around July's next week, I'd say give it around let's see what you guys are doing.
You ain't got a date.
Week of I did have a date. I was acting like I didn't. I was.
Oh, okay. All right.
Damn. Around the week of the 12th, we're gonna have a brand new show for you guys. Me and Cyrus return for a new show called Legendary Run, where we will be looking back at the careers of wrestlers that we're fans of and looking at some of their best years. So that could be, any wrestler from, the past decade and what they've done and the impact that they've had. And we already have the first couple episodes down. And it will be, the topic for this first season will be Kenny Omega in the year 2016. So me and Cyrus will be walking through and rewatching all of Kenny Omega's matches from New Japan in that time, from the moment he won the IC title from Tanahashi to the moment that he won the G1 Climax that year. And we're going to talk about what's different from his character and how it's, and what has changed about him. Has he gotten better? Has he gotten worse? If I'm on there with Cyrus and his opinions on the War Report, you already know what he's going to say. But it's some interesting opinions here, and we're just glad to be able to really be able to go back and talk about these types of things. So we're going to be talking about Kenny Omega. It's going to be a 3-episode season for the first time, and then we're going to kind of gravitate towards more episodes now because we're going to watching so many matches for it. So make sure you check out Legendary Run in July.
All right, there you go. Listen, finally here. And of course, you can always continue listening to the Invasion Diaries, also featured on the A-Show Patreon. Just this week, had my boy Carlos on to talk about Invasion 2001 pay-per-view. I'm saying Invasion 2001 like it wasn't the only fucking Invasion pay-per-view. But the Invasion pay-per-view, one of the highest, one of the most, I guess, fruitful financially pay-per-views, even though it was like bankrupt, like creatively. But I'm here, of course, to announce we got the next episode coming up. I already have it in the bank, so it's already going to be in the tank, and it's already going to be shooting forward. Next episode, we have Mark and Amp to discuss, and this is a change of plan. So if you're listening to this and you're on the Patreon, you know that I already did the sort of episode list. Now, considering the fact that I found a better episode, so originally this episode was supposed to be the Stone Cold Steve Austin episode, heel right. Stone Cold. I found a better episode that I want to dedicate to heel Stone Cold. And with every episode that we've been doing, with every discussion that we've been doing, I've been pairing it with an episode of Raw or a pay-per-view. Not really SmackDown. They just uploaded all the SmackDowns to fucking Peacock, like literally last week. Yeah, really? They uploaded a couple, well, not, I wouldn't say all, but like a couple seasons. So now I got my 2001 season in there to kind of dabble around with. So I'm very, very happy about that, even though they could have, I was watching it on Daily Motion like 2 weeks ago, like watching a fucking potato. You know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless.
Would you say that Peacock is kind of doing all of the uploading in a timely fashion? I didn't expect them to have all of that up.
Fuck no.
First, they have to SummerSlam to do all of this, they said.
So you're going to get on this episode of Mark and Amp, where we actually, this episode, we're focused on The Rock's return, but we also give our thoughts because this is his Amp's. Amp gets Peacock for free because he got Comcast. And he was like, this is my first time going through it, and this is ass. Like, Peacock's UI is terrible.
Well, I think I again, let me be clear. I don't have a problem with the UI, but I think that the UI isn't fit for wrestling. It's fit for episodic TV shows, like actual TV shows, like The Office and stuff like that. Like, it is not set for wrestling at all, and I think it shows when it comes to that. And I think the search feature is pretty bad, but I think it's pretty slick, especially on HD TVs. Pretty cool. Kind of slick.
I mean, you're on your own island over there, but nonetheless,
I mean, I am not on my own island there. Okay, like I'm definitely not on my own island there. There's a bunch
hit me up if you love Peacock.
Jesus Christ,
hit me up if you love Peacock. I need to know these people who exist out here. But yeah, the episode coming up this Sunday will be about The Rock's return to the WWF in the summer of 2001, and of course, like I said, I have Mark and Amp. We're here talking about The Rock. We're talking about The Mummy Returns and Brendan Fraser. We're talking about just a couple things in the news and stuff like that. And we know we still got the World's Life Like in 2001 jazz where we're going over various things. So it's a fun episode. Mark really gets in his bag because Mark is a major fan of The Rock. So he's really in his bag on this one.
Oh, God.
So you have that to look forward to.
Okay, so no holds barred for this week. We got some quick ones and we got some ones that will probably take a little bit of discussing. So you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. First up, Bronson Reed and Karrion Kross. They were on Main Event this week. I know I spoiled it, but it's not spoiled because everyone's fucking talking about it. So it's not a spoiler this week. I know you get mad when I spoil Main Event.
I get mad when you're like, and they lost. I don't care. I mean, Main Event is Main Event.
you can guess the outcomes of these two. Of course, it's the NXT US champion and the NXT champion, respectively. Bronson and Karrion did debut. The rumor is that these are main roster tryouts for them. They were spotted at a main roster tryout at the Thunderdome a week ago. So it seems to be that WWE is actually taking into account and actually doing their due diligence as to who they're going to call up next, which is a good thing. So I mean, putting them on main event is not a bad idea at all. One glaring thing was that Scarlett was not there. Scarlett is penciled in, according to rumors, to get her own main roster tryout. This is causing people to be worried. I wouldn't worry. I just wouldn't. I mean, she's going to be on the main roster too.
Yeah,
they don't break up couples. So be real.
Not frequently.
Like
anyway. Yeah,
exactly. Be clear, and they're going to be traveling. So if they're going to be there, even if she's not with him, she's going to be on the same show. So don't trip.
So I think it's a good reason to tune in the main event this week. Usually you get I don't know if Mustafa Ali is like, yo, so what? I'm just not going to be on TV at all. I'm not going to be wrestling at all. But I think Bronson Reed, Karrion Kross, I don't know if this is a promotion. I don't know if they're going to promote this on NXT tonight. I feel like they will. Because it's just interesting to have both main champions of NXT featured on main event and them not draw any attention to it. So, I think it's something that they should do more often. I think we should get a lot. And they have been they've been trying out gimmicks on main event. They've been introducing people back on main event, like soft introduction, all this other stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm happy for this, and I'm going to watch main event on Hulu because I still have Hulu.
Yeah, it should be good. Bronson's facing Drew Gulak, and Shelton Benjamin is facing Karrion Kross. So those are, I mean, to me, they should be bangers.
Should be.
Next up, hey, I mean, it's main event. They usually give them time. So, I mean, they got to fill like 30, 45 minutes. So they usually give them time. So next up, WWE, Brock Lesnar, rumored to be talking again. According to Fightful Select, the former world and universal champion has been in talks for a return to action. And they said that it's in the works, but it's imminently, and it would be for an imminent return. But then they updated it saying that they had additional details on them wanting to bring him in. They spoke with several sources in the company that said it's a poorly kept secret that they want to bring him back. But sources close to Lesnar do not believe that there's been any real contact or movement towards doing so. I think that's smoke. I think they're putting smoke on the trail, which is what, I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone if there was, they're talking. No one would say that. So, I mean, obviously, these are close sources. These are people that don't want the terms of the deal or what's going on to come out. But, I mean, like they said it right there in the report. This is the worst kept secret. I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back soon, and I think it's going to be when we least expect it.
Money in the Bank? I don't know.
SummerSlam, Raw. I mean, Raw's going to be on the road, so
this is very true. I mean, Brock Lesnar back is only real good. Like, he's been gone for over a year now. I think it's a good break considering the run that he had, even though he would like wrestle like every like fucking 6 months or so. But it's a good, I guess, extended break for him and extended break for us. And I hope, able to introduce him into a couple programs. Maybe we get Brock versus Bobby for the first time. Maybe we get Brock versus Drew again. That's all I got on the top of my head. Brock versus Kofi.
Oh God, please no! Don't do that twice. I would beg Finn to come back from Ireland or wherever the fuck he is. Like, please.
That's hilarious.
We'll let you win.
That's hilarious. I'm good on Brock coming back. I really like it. We don't have to use him a lot. I think this should be honestly like his last run. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know how much like he got in him. Like they've definitely used the attraction thing and we retracted the hell out of him. So,
but what has changed is that they have stars now. They have Drew McIntyre now. They have Roman back where he needs to be, where they don't need another final boss. Roman is the final boss. You know what I mean? They don't need a Brock to do that anymore. They have guys that they're trying to build into that position. And I think that like, even when you look at SmackDown, you look at Raw this week, they're trying to use everybody now to see who's going to break through. So we'll see.
Right.
Next up, speaking of using everybody, Damian Priest has been not in action on Raw for the past month. And there was a lot of rumors going around that it was a back injury, but a recent report says that it was not a back injury and that he's imminently due back as soon as next week. He does have, however, or did have a undisclosed injury that no one will say what it was, but it seems to be that he was out because he couldn't get cleared. So Damian Priest, I'm really glad to hear that he's coming back very soon. I expected after, I mean, there was no way that his push would just stop after he beat The Miz and did all that stuff for them. So it's a good thing he's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Raw needs him. I mean, Raw could use him. Raw could use a little bit of variety, especially jumping around, especially considering it's Money in the Bank season. It's very much so weird that he's not featured in it, but hey, these unfortunate times, all these other things. It's unfortunate that Keith Lee isn't back yet. It's unfortunate a whole bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I look forward to Damian Priest when he eventually returns, and hopefully he can kind of get back on the wave of momentum that he's had been. But yeah.
Lots of hashtag momentum for him. Next up, and this is some news I know that you are not happy to see all over your timeline on Friday, but Becky Lynch was seen training at the PC last week, and she was present at a couple of the shows, including Hell in a Cell. So I mean, that's another one. That's another one they got in the chamber. her and Brock they got it in the chamber. What do you feel about it?
Becky Lynch seems like the most imminent return out of all of them. Like the one that's like, okay, because I think if she's backstage at Hell in a Cell, she's having meetings. They probably filming some shit. They probably Father's Day, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. All type of other stuff. So she seems like the one that's the most imminent return. And I would probably circle and underline 3 times SummerSlam on the calendar for that, because considering how this feud's been going with Rhea and Charlotte, I think the winner of that's eventually going to run into the Man. And we're going to have to see where everyone kind of lies in comparison to the Man. But I wasn't happy because I was just like, we couldn't have kept this a secret. Like, we couldn't have, like, I got to know. First of all, not only did I know that she's wrestling in PC, I knew who she was training with. I knew what day she showed up. I know how long she's been there. I know how everything of the rather. And it's like, this is no slight to, I guess, all the hardworking people doing their jobs to make money. I just wish I hadn't seen it. But this is the internet. And, niggas got to get their Patreon subs off. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Indy, man.
Shout out to Indy.
A lot of trust.
Yeah.
A lot of trust put in her to do that. So you talked about SummerSlam. There's some rumored SummerSlam matches going around. Obviously, Roman versus John Cena is at the top of that list. It seems as though that's imminent. Cena should be coming off of his Fast 9 promotion, this is a movie he's been promoting for a whole year since it got canceled.
I am looking forward to the promos for that feud because Roman is gonna go in, but then John Cena is also going to shrug it off and go in as well. So I'm looking forward to how that feud. Now I hope John Cena gets a haircut because his hair is ridiculous. Like, I do not like that hair.
Cena is going to say, I made more in 1 year than you made last year in a pandemic. He gonna turn it into the Migos vaccine song. I'm getting money in a pandemic. Turn a pandemic into a pandemic. Like, he's gonna give us those bars.
They're gonna shit all over each other. Like, that promo, yeah. I think Roman Reigns is still, like, I still remember, what was it, No Mercy 2018 when they had that match before? Like, and he had that promo, that really scathing promo that everyone was like, ooh, oh shit, they really shooting here.
It was a moment where people were siding with Cena, and I was like, y'all some fake motherfuckers.
Well, Roman remembers that. Roman remembers all of that. He remembers all this shit. And he's been waiting to turn heel to turn up the heat. So I'm looking forward to the promos for that match. What else is rumored for SummerSlam?
Seth Rollins and Edge as well.
I mean, that's just,
it's a gimme. They should have been dead.
I honestly, I figured it was happening when Seth Rollins beat Cesaro.
Yep.
And he got the last.
Somebody said when Seth beat Cesaro, it was like his push is over. I'm like, all right, fellas, it's 1-1 of these matches. They'll likely have the rubber match on.
Didn't they have another match?
They had the one where he was going. Well, actually, it's 2-1 Cesaro. He actually is up.
Yeah, he's up.
They had one at SmackDown.
But I guess Seth gets the last laugh. Wow. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, Cesaro.
Don't matter if you won 3, 4, 5 against him. As long as he gets the last laugh, it's like he won 100.
It's like he won as long as he gets the last laugh and faces Edge at SummerSlam, I guess he's really the victor in all this. I don't hear unfortunately for Cesaro, I don't really hear all the SummerSlam rumors of the matches that he's in.
I imagine it would be Apollo Crews because everyone wants to see him spin Aziz. To me, that would be it. That would be Cesaro Apollo Crews. That would give us the most bang for our buck. Put them both in Money in the Bank, bridge the storyline off of that. Boom, you got it. I don't think Cesaro is out of the picture at all. I think they're going to give him something. The same way I think they'll try and give Nakamura something in the fall.
You and Nakamura, man. You and this Nakamura guy, man.
You and this motherfucking every guy. Anyway, moving on. Secondly, Bianca Sasha 2 is also rumored for SummerSlam. I think we've been calling this since she stopped showing up to work. She's going to be another one. And they're thinking that it's going to be Brock and Bobby Lashley. So, I mean, card wise, this is a better card than WrestleMania off top.
Oh, easily. Oh, for sure. And you're going, right?
I will be in the building. I think I'll be in the building.
Okay.
So if you guys see me, the more information on that as it rolls out, but I think there's a lot of things being planned for WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, SummerSlam Mania. SummerSlam Mania. SummerSlam. The
tag should be "We Outside." SummerSlam.
I mean, they already set it up. They said it was. I'm telling you, every time I hear the Up commercial, I'm like, these niggas are really leading a marketing campaign with "If it's up, then it's stuck." And you don't got to tell me who that's for.
Yeah.
You don't got to tell me who that's aimed at.
Listen,
Nick Khan, a motherfucker, man. He hell. You know who that's pointed at. He said, "It was up." All right. He said, "All right, hold on. Let me call somebody."
It's still there, baby. It's still there. Listen,
the power is back.
AEW. Well, listen, AEW's running a show in New York.
They're running Arthur Ashe.
When I saw that it was in Queens, I was like, nah. I was like, nah. Come on, man. You couldn't. Does Vince own Brooklyn and Manhattan? Goddamn. Like, Vince don't run in no damn Queens. When's the last time WWE did a show in Queens?
Imagine all them fans showing up to that show.
I assume people gonna be there. Don't get me wrong. People gonna be there. There's a.
Oh, don't imagine all the fans in Queens.
Nigga. Queens is deep. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's not.
Oh yeah, they're running Arthur Ashe.
It's not. That's not a quick trip. Y'all want to go to Queens to see AEW? Y'all go to Queens, and there's no slight on Queens, but Brooklyn the best borough. That's all I got to say about that. There was a pay-per-view last Sunday.
Yeah, it was.
They played me. They played me. They just sneakily put that 8 p.m. start back, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at all. My body wasn't used to it.
They said niggas outside. We gotta put it back to 8. When you went outside, it was 7.
They didn't want the sun out while the pay-per-view going on? Goddamn.
That's worse for me. Because now it's like, I gotta make dinner during pay-per-views now. And I could at least get an hour in before I started making dinner.
Yeah, come on, man. I like, being able to decompress afterwards. Like, this almost hit 11 o'clock. I was kind of worried. I was kind of tired. You know what I'm saying?
It was still 2 hours and 49 minutes, I think.
That's too long. That's too late. Not even long. It's too late. I need them to go back to 7 o'clock, please.
All right. Random complaints Meelz is back.
Of course. Well, listen.
Listen.
And shout out to Dion for doing the Twitter Spaces after the show, and shout out to everyone who showed up. So we got our stuff off. Mm-hmm. Shout out to just everyone who dropped an opinion and all this other stuff like that. Hell in a Cell. For those people who weren't at the Spaces, the Twitter Spaces after the show, What were your general thoughts on Hell in a Cell? How did you feel about the show?
It was a strong show. I'm glad they. I mean, nothing that we tried to predict on last week's show actually even mattered because they added so many damn matches to the show
there's a
on
fucking
Friday.
Hell in a Cell on Friday. Who does that?
Yeah,
we gotta talk about that after.
So
we can talk about it after.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was a really solid show. I think that these pay-per-views do a great job of underselling how good they're going to be. And this has been again, I always say this, it's always been the story of our life. The TV and the creative for the TV is always, and then, then they surprise us and shock us with the actual pay-per-view. But I thought Charlotte and Rhea was really good until the ending. I thought that Seth and Cesaro was really good. I thought KO and Sammy was, I don't know how these motherfuckers do it. Every single time they come up with a different match. Every time. I don't know how they do this shit. They can't keep getting away with it. And I thought the two Hell in a Cell matches were strong as well. I think that I leaned more towards the Drew Bobby one because it was just so damn violent. That was a violent fucking match.
I loved it. I loved every second of that. Well, as much as I saw because the Philly Hawks game was on, but everything I saw at the main event, besides the finish, which was a roll up in a Hell in a Cell match, it just don't seem right. I know it's a little bit complainy, but it don't seem right, man. These men put their body through hell. You know what I'm saying? They got war wounds.
I agree, and I think again it goes into like they're trying to protect everybody. If you try and protect everybody, then no one looks strong.
Right.
You made Bobby not very strong, and I understand they want to protect Drew for whatever the fuck they have coming next. But you had him do that, but then you had him lose clean to Riddle the next night. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, so how does he look any stronger there? You know what I'm saying? He just looks like he's someone who just can't get beat by finishers.
Yeah.
Like bring back the finishers, bro.
He ain't laying back. He ain't laying down for that definitive finish. Nah, they not doing that with Big Drew apparently. What else was interesting on this show? I mean, I like generally the most of this thing. I talk about it in Twitter Spaces, but I thought Charlotte and Rhea had the opportunity to kind of really go the distance, but once again, that kind of like finish to the match. It's obviously leading for a part 2, which you got announced that they're going to be at Money in the Bank. Listen, they were booking Money in the Bank like it was next week on Raw. My niggas was like, yo, we got business to pick up. We got everything to kind of keep going for.
Well, you want to talk about the Hell in a Cell and get into Raw after the break?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So after the break, we'll talk about Rey Mysterio's Wild Night. And we'll talk about a Monday Night Raw that was really good on the A Show. We'll be right back.
First off, welcome back to Monday Night Raw. But would you be able to shed any light on what took place in your much anticipated return?
Kyle, I am so glad you asked. You see, it's been 5 years since I have stepped in the WWE ring, so everything had to be perfect. So last week, before Raw, I went and got a mani-pedi. And yes, my nails look amazing. But unfortunately, I caught a cold. But I know the WWE Universe was dying to see the return of Eva Marie. So instead of throwing in the towel, I arranged for my protege to step in and take my place. Introducing... What is it again? My name's... hold on. Her name is... Doudrop. Yes, Doudrop. Now, Ken, the evolution, we must get going.
Doudrop.
Yo, just listening to that and not like having to see Eva Marie made it painfully clear how rehearsed that thing was. She had like...
Oh yeah, you know what's funny? I was just watching it just now. And I was like, it seemed really good. I was like, damn, that was a good promo when I watched it. And I was like, wait a minute. It seemed like she was reading, like she had read those lines mad times.
She read them mad times. Had all the great pauses, all the great pregnant pauses. It's like, hold on. First of all, her name is like it. It gave me it's still for me much better delivery than a Dana Brooke promo. Like Dana Brooke just be, I don't know what she'd be reading, how she'd be interpreting that shit. But you know, it was good. It was good. It was good. Eva Marie still gets a lot of heat. We'll talk about it when we get to Raw. But this Friday night SmackDown. It's Friday night SmackDown.
What a show. We had
24
Hell in a Cell.
We had 24 hours to prepare for a Hell in a Cell match that was announced on Friday, to which all competitors were like, yo, fuck it, why we gotta wait till Sunday? I'm like, because the pay-per-view's named Hell in a Cell. Wait a minute. Like, the fuck.
Yeah,
it's a it was announced via Twitter, via Rey Mysterio, via Roman Reigns' timeline, and I guess Adam Pearce made the thing. I don't know. He blocked me. I don't know if he still makes matches. But it was announced that Friday night SmackDown, we were going to have a Hell in a Cell match to close SmackDown. The first ever Hell in a Cell match on national broadcast television. What were your thoughts before we get into the actual match itself? What were your thoughts going into it? And did anything set you off of like, why are they having this match on SmackDown?
I mean, no, other than to get people to watch SmackDown. I think a lot of people were trying to make something sinister out of this as it would stand. I'm just like, well, it can't be Rey or Roman are injured, because they would just say that.
Right.
And I honestly didn't think too much of it. I was just like, hey, okay, whatever. I think people put a lot of stock in like when things like this happen unannounced. I'm just like, things change. Like it just, literally things. I'm like, we're gonna get the match on Friday, cool. And then I was like, all right, I was just upset that we had done so much predicting for it, and I was just like, so how do we predict what's gonna happen on Sunday? I just wanted to know what's gonna happen on Sunday and what they will replace it with. And I think that was our conversation too. It was just like, if you replace this with 3 other matches, I felt like it was a good deal, even though I would miss Roman. And you were like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good enough deal for me.
Yeah, I wasn't completely sold on the fact that it was on, just because I felt like, well, first I thought it was shenanigans. That's my first immediate thought on most things. Oh, we're getting on Friday? Oh, the match is changing. And it'll be some other different shit on Sunday. It'll be the Usos and all types of other stuff. But no, the match legitimately happened on Friday, and that was the end of it. It ended. He killed Rey Mysterio. He powerbombed him into the steel cage off the, out of the ring. It was, I think, I'm also trying to read into it of why they would change it to Friday, but this might end up being a thing of like, we just wanted to put it on Friday. We want to get people. And I'm picturing Bruce Pritchard on Something to Wrestle With in like 10 years saying like, wanted people to tune into the pay-per-view, so I had to give him something for, Adam give him something for on Friday for people to tune in. So that's why I could see they doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they worked the shit out of that Hell in a Cell over the past 4 days.
Oh yeah.
They worked the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, don't take it down. Nah. Monday.
Hell in a Cell doing the SpongeBob breathe out meme.
Oh my god! Listen,
how many times y'all gonna take me down and up?
You think they disinfect that cell?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just checking.
They got to.
Nonetheless, Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, Universal Championship, Hell in a Cell, Friday night SmackDown. Roman Reigns, to the surprise of no one, wins the match. He wins it with a cravat, which was weird as fuck to me. I was like, what the fuck is this? I guess the feud is over.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I said this last week. I was like, there isn't a lot of meat on the bone here.
No.
Other than just doing the. It seemed like it was another contender of the month. That's why I'm a lot less like shocked and offended that they did it on Friday. I'm just like, this just seems like another one where the winner was clearly not in doubt. Let's move them on. Let's move on. Like,
Father's Day was the angle for me. Father's Day was the thing to pull me in. So the fact this wasn't really, I mean, they were just like, Happy Father's Day. I'm like, yeah, but it's not even really Father's Day, and the kid didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, he's injured, bro. He got powerbomb, bro.
Yeah, I guess he is. It was a pretty good match. Could have gone. I would have preferred it a little bit longer, but it was pretty good for what we saw. I'm good on Friday. I don't know what else happened on Friday Night SmackDown. Otis continued doing his Otis shit. What else happened?
Nothing of no. Oh my god, nothing of no. A really good beatdown segment with Bayley and Bianca, but we've already kind of gone over.
Your man's Nakamura, the king of things.
King of kings. He's the king of kings, bruh. I hope this leads somewhere. It's fun, but I think that him and Baron had a really good match too. I love that they made this a big deal. Also,
I agree.
Like
Battle for the crown.
Had its own. Yeah, it had its own Chiron and everything. I was like, all right, they taking this bullshit serious. But you know what that comes from? That comes from Nakamura getting himself over with that crown. That weekend was always like he had that crown on always the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was what got creative. Like, okay, we should do something with this. And I think that was another example of getting yourself over. And I think Nakamura had the right idea with that. So
absolutely,
I liked it. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. Meelz, I want to ask you first what you thought about Raw.
So I thought Raw was good. I fell asleep during part of it because normally I like to eat before 8 o'clock, but my Uber Eats was playing. So my Uber Eats was playing a little bit, so I got my food after 8 o'clock. So by the time I went to go, you eat and then you go sit down to watch television, and then suddenly you just find yourself dozing off. That was happening.
No.
No? All right. Well, whatever. Fuck it. Just me. I guess it's just me. The itis. But nonetheless, I thought it was really good. I think I fell asleep at a good time and woke up at a really good time.
I don't know what that means, but getting into the show, I thought it was a really good show.
I unfortunately fell asleep. I fell asleep during the ladies tag team Money in the Bank qualifier. And I woke up to Drew McIntyre reversing Matt Riddle suplexes and going full NXT takeover.
Which one was the first one? You fell asleep during the Doudrop one?
No, Alexa Bliss and Captain Save-A-Ho.
Wow. All right, we're gonna get into that. I didn't say it, y'all. He said it. Go after him. I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was the best episode of Raw in months, honestly. And I think it combined good matches with good creative. And I thought that, they had a good through line throughout the show with Kofi and Bobby, with Riddle and Randy, with, just so much stuff going on. The stories to me are starting to congeal. And one thing I can say about Raw is that they're trying to put everybody on TV. You saw Jinder Mahal this week. They're trying to put everybody on the show. And I think that whoever's writing Raw now, I think they have a really good idea, because it's starting to remind me a little bit more of how Heyman was doing it in terms of trying to get everybody in.
So here's my scheme of why they did Raw the way they did Raw. They have a pay-per-view coming up. It's going to be the first pay-per-view in front of people. So they decided we need to promote this thing weeks in advance so people want to show up to this thing. I think that's the reason why you got Kofi versus Bobby announced first day out. Rhea versus Charlotte announced first day out. Money in the Bank qualifying matches first week out. I think that's why you're getting all of these things really, really early, because they're playing the long game of like, we're selling to a crowd again. We spent the last year, at whatever various arenas, and you didn't even need to sell. We know from experience, they didn't even need to announce a whole fucking card for us to know that the pay-per-view is happening. This time, now that they're selling tickets, now they're actually selling a show, they're going all in. And hopefully that means just a lot of better stuff. And I would say that Hell in a Cell match that closed Monday Night Raw for whatever reason was a big part of that.
Yeah, good start. So we got Kofi Kingston and Bobby Lashley confirmed for Money in the Bank for the WWE title. Good promo to start the show. I thought Kofi was strong throughout the show in terms of talking and getting this over. And I think Bobby's even kind of coming to his own on the mic as well. I think that he's a lot less uncomfortable, if you will. I think that even sometimes he actually kind of matches MVP in terms of just getting his point across. I thought it was really good opening segment there to get that show on the road.
Yeah, I think it was great to kind of establish where they're at, why we're doing this, why I'm challenging you to this match, because 1, your finisher Drew, 2, I beat you, 3, that's really it. But I think it was good establishing. And then you also said, yo, we're going to have a big time main event. we're going to announce the main event in the first hour of the show, the first fucking 20 minutes of the show. So I'm forced to stay and watch all 3 hours of the show leading up. And plus basketball wasn't on. So that was another major proponent of me actually staying to watch the show. But nonetheless, yeah, it was a good way to kick off Monday Night Raw.
Woods and Bobby at the end. I saw really a lot of high praise. I don't watch Raw in the moment, and this is another one of my I didn't watch this in the moment things is the Nikki Cross thing. But I didn't watch Raw in the moment, but I saw a lot of heavy praise for the main event, and I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was better than the match that happened the night before. I thought it was just fine.
I thought it was good. I don't know. It's weird. So you just sat through 3 other Hell in a Cell matches over the course of 3 days. So I think once we got to this one, knowing the kind of stakes, I guess seeing that it's Xavier Woods, which isn't a slight on him, but obviously it's not he's playing up to Bobby in this sort of position.
The finish was never in doubt.
Yeah,
the finish was never
in doubt. I never expected Xavier Woods to win. This was a glorified squash within a cell. But the fact that they had the cell on Monday Night Raw, a lot of people were saying USA was well, the Fox is gonna get fucking the Hell in a Cell. We got to get Hell in a Cell. Fuck out of here.
I tend to believe that's true.
Okay.
I tend to believe that's probably what happened. I absolutely believe that's probably what happened.
Well, keep the son of a bitch down,
Every match in Raw is a Hell in a Cell match. We had a lot of Money in the Bank qualifiers on Raw as well. We're going to run through them right now. Riddle versus Drew. You said earlier Riddle or Drew thought it was an NXT TakeOver match. I think this was a match that also put Riddle in contention to be at least a top 5 performer on either show, on all 3 shows, and probably in the whole company right now. This guy Riddle has not missed. I don't think he's had a bad match all year, especially not a bad match on Raw.
No,
he's been going crazy.
Not at all. He's really been going crazy. They've been getting time. I think they had 2 commercial breaks during this actual match itself. They were going bananas. They were going this was real deal Holyfield type of match, and I'm gonna honestly say it's probably on the lower end of these things, but it's definitely a match of the year contender, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was really good, and again, you get 2 guys that don't miss. And you make magic. I believe these guys actually faced each other in Evolve before.
Probably.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, probably.
It was crazy then too. So I thought it was great. Riddle beating Drew clean, right in the middle.
He did the kick out after 3 thing. Only real ones do that. Only real
push guys do that.
Kick out after 3, baby. Come on.
Didn't Fiend do that to Goldberg too?
Did he?
I want to say. I think the last time I remember his saying that was Fiend doing it to Goldberg. Fiend kicked out after 3.
Listen, probably went into business for himself, baby. Come on, I got to lose to Goldberg in Saudi Arabia, and then I can't get back home.
Was Fiend wearing the mask on the plane?
All right,
I'm gonna stop.
All right, go ahead.
Riddle advances the Money in the Bank. That should be fun. Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Let me tell you this right now. I fully intended on skipping this match.
I'm not against that because I could see why you would do that. I could see.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen this. I've seen the way this movie plays out
a jillion times. But I think you called it. You literally called it word for word, bar for bar, and how that match would end.
Viking Raiders coming out.
Yeah.
Viking Raiders stopping winning. Ricochet advances. I think if you got crowds, you really want the most high flying, exciting guys to be in that. And AJ just, not to say he can't go, but that's not what he needs to do anymore. He doesn't need to be in these sorts of matches anymore.
Listen,
he's proven himself.
Was the Thunderdome era a disservice to Ricochet? Is that a narrative that we can announce? Does crowds back mean that Ricochet has a much bigger purpose, or at least a much bigger attraction on Monday Night Raw and things?
Let me tell you this right now. I don't know the SmackDown side of Money in the Bank yet. I'm putting my motherfucking hat in the ring right now.
Okay.
And I'm calling Ricochet Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm calling it right now.
That's a big hat, baby.
I'm calling it right now. There's a lot of room in it, but my piece of paper going to get pulled out in the end. It's going to say Ricochet on it. I don't know the other side of the bracket, but I think Ricochet got this.
I just remember Otis won last year. I mean, I ain't pick Otis. I thought it was cute, but
I'm back to standing. I'm back to standing.
Okay,
I'm back.
Okay, crowd's back. Ricochet back. That's how we doing it out here.
Crowd's back. Ricochet back. I'm back to standing.
Boom.
There you go.
Let's talk about, speaking of big moments on Raw. You got a new gimmick out the wazoo this week.
Listen, would that have been strong? Would you have been more what the fuck if she was in a dark room and she and then she turned the light on and you saw her, or if she didn't have that? Because when she did the promo, you saw her face, and I was like, please tell me the bottom is going to be like something different. And then when they showed
first of all, I would have been disappointed if it were anyone else but Nikki Cross. I'll say that. If it was Natalya dressing up with the with the mask that looked like the aura, maybe we should bleep that out. Now I want to sing the song, but it's too out of pocket for this show. Old Cassidy record named Hotel. That's what I'll say.
We know.
But it's I'm not. She seems to wear it very, very well. Best tweet I saw all night was from Jackass PhD or something along the line. Said Jack. There we go. Said, I gotta find this tweet. I gotta make it word for word. Essentially to the lines of like, yo, Nikki Cross got this picture cross. Peyton Royce must have been pitching some bullshit.
Of course, we're talking about the Peyton Royce, their podcast segment.
Why would you say that out loud?
When Vince said, "So what do you like to do?" And she said, "I don't know. I like to sit on the couch and watch TV with my dogs." And he said, "All right, bet."
He said the next word.
He was gone. Listen, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm not a fan of the fit. It looks a little bit too like Max Moon.
How long do you think this was in the works? How long, based on the fit, how long do you think they've been planning this?
For a while. I mean, the artist who kind of drew out the look and the style for her new outfit, costume, whatever you want to call it, gear, said that was during the first pitch, I believe, so like the first pass, and that would mean that there was probably multiple passes because that wasn't what she was wearing last night. It has the lightning bolts on it, which is kind of like a throwback to Nikki Cross's old name, which is Nikki Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it might have gone through a lot of revisions. I think what happened here and why that worked was that Nikki came to Vince with an idea that was not only toyetic but very marketable. So they can sell toys of this, they can sell masks of this, they can sell capes of this, they can sell mugs of this.
Wait a minute.
They can sell.
Hold on.
Exactly. Like it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like it's not really for me, and I can respect that too. I don't gotta like it. I'm not saying that this means that she's a terrible wrestler. I've noticed her style has changed. She's a lot more high flying, but she's into the gimmick.
Yeah, she's
so even if I don't like it, I gotta commend her for putting her all into.
She wearing that gimmick. You know what I'm saying? She wearing it. She wearing it like she own it, and I appreciate. That's why I can't even knock it, because she's so into this thing that it's ridiculous. Like she is. I watched her backstage. I watched her backstage segment to see what she's gonna say, and she's still Nikki Cross, but it seems like she just likes wearing whatever superhero costume that she's in.
And to me, from what I've seen from people on Twitter since, and people that know her, this is who she is in real life. Positive, really cool, really nice person. And I would say that really she looks more comfortable doing this than she did being crazy Nikki Cross, even though she was really good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I see her as really comfortable in it. So like, again, I'm not a fan of the mask. I think the mask really fucks me up. The mask looks weird on her. They need to find they got to find a better mask for her. But other than that, the fit's cool. She wears a cape. People thought they'd hate the Neville cape, and then they came around to it. Eventually, people hate these things, and they come around on it. And I think once again, they're doing something with Nikki. She's clearly going to be pushed. This wasn't to me a knee jerk reaction to anything.
Mm-hmm.
She beat Charlotte, beat Rhea, and she got a new gimmick. They seem to be wanting to go with her. So, and she's going to be in Money in the Bank. So, yeah.
Boom. There you go. Listen, I think a lot of people are going to be cheering for Nikki Cross when we get to Money in the Bank.
I do too. I really do. Doudrop. We heard the promo before. Doudrop, the aka Piper Niven, debuts her new name, and she doesn't look happy with it. And she let Eva Marie know that in their qualifier match against Naomi and Asuka. Let me tell you one thing.
I knew you was waiting. Go off.
Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny how people just really rip their mask off and show you who they really are and show you what they really feel about stuff before they actually watch stuff play out.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that played out in those two segments, Meelz, that we literally said last week, let it play out. We don't know what's going to happen. She got the name, but wait a minute. Her name is still Piper Niven on the main roster. Eva Marie is just a narcissistic, self-absorbed person who she's going to break away from. And when she does break away from her, she's going to get cheered for. And you're going to get Piper Niven. And you're going to get what you want from her all along.
Or Doudrop.
Oh, would you look at that? Naomi got her win back against the person that set her up last week. And she's going to be in Money in the Bank. Was it necessary last week? Was all of that shit necessary last week?
Of course not. You know wrestling, though. You know wrestling fans, though. You know, all this reaction stuff to it. It would have been, who got the pinfall? I think it was,
Naomi to Eva.
Naomi to Eva. Okay. I think we should do a hashtag.
Boom.
We need to cheer Naomi. We need to cheer Naomi when she wins and when she celebrate her when she's on top and stuff like that. We can't just celebrate her when we think that something's downtrodden and something's wrong. But nonetheless, I thought the business that they did was pretty good. The fact that she reacted to Doudrop, the fact that Piper Niven has agency. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I ain't no fucking Doudrop, man. That's so. Ugh.
And I'm also not feeling you tagging in when I didn't need you to.
Yeah.
And taking a win.
Yeah.
So you can lose that one. You lost that, not me.
Right.
I liked it. And she continues to look good in there in the ring. She continues to look really good. I think that her being added adds so much depth and so much character to that women's division because it adds another type of another style there because she does not work the style that you think she would work.
Mm-hmm.
She actually is like one of the most, not only just technical, but one of the most, like, she does some crazy shit. You saw her do the cannonball and I was like, oh shit, she's really going to be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you haven't seen her in NXT UK, it doesn't look like a lot has changed from her style. So she's going to kill it. I think she's going to be great.
I agree. I look forward to see what happens next. I know seems strange for a lot of people, but I look forward to see what happens next.
Do you drop Hive? Or is it too early?
Too early. Not with that name. No.
All right. Okay. All right. So next week on Raw, we have a last chance qualifier. I would imagine we'll probably get a last chance qualifier from the women, but it's going to be Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre in a last chance match to qualify for Money in the Bank. I'm going to say right now, I think Drew's next feud is going to probably stop him. I think it's going to end up being Randy, and they're going to put RK Bro on the same one. I think Vikings are going to stop AJ, and I'm guessing Jinder is probably going to stop Drew.
Yeah.
It's going to be Randy.
How terrible is Adam Pearce? I just have to say this again. People backstage walked up to him and say, I'm a former WWE champion. I am also a former WWE champion. I'm the US champion. I'm Cedric Alexander. I've been on a roll as of late. Where's my opportunity to put Money in the Bank? And you know what he does? He takes the 3 losers from the day and puts them in a match and say, you will get the last spot. Man, Jeff Hardy, Cedric Alexander, Jinder Mahal, and Sheamus, if he wants to. I don't know. His nose still broken. They should walk in, interfere in that match. They should really just fuck that match up.
Jinder said as much. Jinder literally said, don't say nothing if I end up, beating somebody ass who's in the match. And then Adam said, what am I going to say?
He going to beat up Drew.
Walked away.
He going to beat up Drew.
Yeah. He's going to beat up Drew.
He going to beat up Drew.
This what y'all want. Y'all love these callbacks. Have fun.
I'm sure Channing is loving fucking Jinder Mahal on Monday Night Raw.
Y'all listen. Y'all love these callbacks. I love Drew. I don't know if he's gonna get the level of output from his other challengers that he's gotten from Jinder Mahal. So have fun with that one, pals. I'm skipping every segment. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm skipping every segment.
Him versus Jinder. He pulled a good match out of Jinder. I don't know what to say anymore. Just hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it loud. Wear it proud. Because Jinder kind of is trash. But that's all I got. I mean, of course, Adam Pearce is a hoe. That's all I got to say kind of end Monday night.
Oh, my God. Okay. So thank you guys for listening to The A Show with myself and Meelz. As always, follow us at The A Show RNC on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to our Patreon at The A Show RNC. You can get more content such as spot callers, which is I'm dropping the new spot callers this week with PWG All-Star Weekend. And we're also going to have the Invasion Diaries. Rewriters Room is coming back with special Patreon content, as well as coming back for public episodes as well. And the War Report with Quan and Cyrus trying to muscle their way through these Friday Night Dynamites before they come back this week on Wednesday. And we have more announcements and stuff, but you gotta listen to the Patreon to hear those. But as always, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys.
Before we go, happy birthday to Cyrus. We didn't even say this entire thing.
Oh, happy birthday to Cyrus. Well, Patreon obviously gets it early. They're gonna hear this. Cyrus is gonna hear this on the day.
Yeah,
but
don't do nothing. Cyrus don't listen to this early. Cyrus, you're in Chicago. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
He probably doing a lot of stuff. Cyrus is he knee deep in a sneaky link. Cyrus got a sneaky link. I'm like, I didn't even know he's going to know goddamn Chicago. Anyway, love you, Cyrus. That is one of the most talented
in Chicago. It's dangerous out there.
Cyrus is definitely one of the most talented, one of the most funny people I know, and he deserves all the best for his birthday. So if you see him, follow him at _visibility and tell him happy birthday if you get a chance today or tomorrow when you listen to the show. But as always, thank you for listening to The A Show. We'll be back next week with more on the latest and greatest pro wrestling. So for Meelz, I'm Justin. Peace out.
Recognize, do too, cause when get scandalous and pull a voodoo, what you gon' do? You really don't know, so I'd advise you not to trust that. Silly of me to fall in love with a knowing damn well I'm too caught up with my grip. Now as the sun rotates and my game grows bigger, how many wanna name Snoop Doggy? I'm all the above. I'm too swift on my toes to get caught up with you. But see, it ain't no fun if my homies can't get a taste of it, cause you know I don't love it. Woo! Hey, now you know, inhale, exhale with my flow.